Hi, I'm Narsingh Saxena, a scientist turned management consultant and now a scholar of Vedic philosophy. Welcome to my channel, Life and the Vedas. In today's talk session, I will cover a crucial topic, which is unraveling life's mysteries through Vedas. It is explained through 7 articles. Today, I am going to talk about the first article in the series, which is Life's Dilemmas and the Vedic Philosophy. If you are new to the term Vedas, these are ancient texts that belong to the classical era of India. They provide a wealth of knowledge about life and explain its various aspects. Let us first talk about life. Although it appears simple, it is in fact a complex phenomenon full of mystery. As Albert Einstein has commented, life is a mystery, and the more we try to unravel it, the more we realize how little we actually know. There are so many uncertainties and so many unknowns that oftentimes we feel totally baffled. Life's mystery also creates some crucial life-related dilemmas. 2 such dilemmas have always puzzled the human mind. The first one is whether to believe in a life after death, which means in a non-physical life, referred to as a transcendental or spiritual life. The second one is whether to believe that the universe is created and run by a supreme entity. Both social sciences and physical sciences have not been able to resolve either of these dilemmas so far. Apart from these dilemmas, there are other bewildering life-related mysteries like what is the origin of life, what is the nature of consciousness, and can it survive beyond death? Why do we grow old and die? What happens to us after we die? Does our existence end after death? Or do we go to another dimension in some other form? How do cultural and religious beliefs about death and the afterlife impact individual behavior and social norms? How do individuals and societies grapple with the question of mortality and the inevitability of death? All these dilemmas are still unresolved. It is due to this reason that in this postmodern era in which we are currently living, social scientists have accepted the inadequacy of logic and reasoning in explaining life. As the social scientist Stuart Hall puts it, the limitations of logic and reasoning must be recognized, as they cannot fully capture the complexity and diversity of social reality. They now accept ambiguity, which means that they are either okay with accepting no explanation or more than one explanation of a puzzling situation. In the words of Jean-François Lyotard, postmodernism calls for a recognition of the complex and multifaceted nature of social reality and an acceptance of the ambiguity and indeterminacy that comes with it. As far as physical scientists are concerned, traditionally they have not accepted the existence of non-physical reality, since according to the scientist Carl Sagan, science deals with natural phenomena that can be observed and measured, and the concept of afterlife and spiritual realm is not subject to empirical observation. However, with some new developments in modern science, especially in the field of physics, traditional science has received a big jolt. These new developments have been extremely strange and inexplicable by traditional science. They have challenged the tenets of traditional science. There is no logical or so-called scientific explanation in the minds of scientists who have also succumbed to the acceptance of ambiguity like social scientists. Let us see what these new developments in the field of physics really are. We notice that with the discovery of subatomic particles like electrons and protons, which are also known as the elementary particles, science has gone from precise to vague, since these elementary particles do not follow the laws of physics. They defy exact measurement and reproducibility of the results, which have been the cornerstone of science. They seem to point to the existence of something beyond the normal physical reality, which scientists are unable to understand. Another strange thing about the elementary particles is that they suddenly start behaving like an energy wave in certain circumstances. Similarly, an energy wave in some situations starts to behave like a stream of particles similar in size to the elementary particles. Each particle in a wave is a small bundle of energy, called a quantum of energy, or photon, which behaves like a particle of matter. It is something very unusual for scientists, since in traditional physics, matter and waves are treated as two distinct entities. A new branch of physics, called the quantum mechanics, or more broadly, quantum physics, has been formulated to describe the strange and unpredictable behavior of these elementary particles. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain this illogical and irrational behavior of the elementary particles, but none have been experimentally tested so far. Thus, at the micro level of elementary particles, physics has temporarily become metaphysics, since in the absence of experimental testing, these theories are metaphysical or philosophical in nature, with no sure basis in reality. Apart from the dilemma posed by the scientific law-defying elementary particles and the wave-particle duality of quantum physics, another major puzzling situation facing the scientists is the lack of a satisfactory explanation for the creation of the universe. The proposed Big Bang theory, which will be covered in detail later, has not been able to provide the suitable answers to several puzzling questions. While the search for the right answers is still on, I want to draw your attention to the wisdom of the Vedas. They are a huge reservoir of complete knowledge. By complete knowledge, I mean that it comprises both the knowledge pertaining to the physical world as well as the philosophy of the non-physical or transcendental reality. All the ambiguity starts disappearing when we make use of this Vedic philosophy and combine it with quantum physics. Vedas begin with the premise that there exists an ultimate reality, the Supreme Being, called Brahm, also spelled Brahman, in the form of consciousness of cosmic proportions.
As Aitreya Upanishad, a text from the Vedic literature, puts it,
consciousness is Brahm. It creates the universe out of itself. Rig Veda asserts, from Brahm, the universe comes forth. In Brahm it subsists, and unto Brahm it returns. Brahm also runs the universe. By its light, everything else shines, says Katha Upanishad. It, however, stays on a different plane than that of ours, declares Bhagavad Gita,
which is a crucial part of the Vedic literature. It says,
that which is beyond the physical universe and is unmanifested, eternal, and immutable is known as Brahm. However, before talking about the cosmic consciousness, let us try to understand what consciousness is. Have you ever seen an unconscious person? If yes, then you would have noticed that they are totally dysfunctional and are simply unaware of whatever is happening around them. This means that it is our consciousness which makes us aware of ourselves, our surroundings, and enables us to be functional. Using the same analogy, it can be argued that there is a cosmic consciousness behind the universe being functional. But here you can argue that most of the universe is a non-living entity, so how can you talk about cosmic consciousness? You may be surprised to know that the answer to this question is provided by quantum physics through the strange behavior of the elementary particles. The behavior of these particles cannot be predicted. For example, the decay of an elementary particle cannot be foreseen. It may decay instantly or choose to decay after an unspecified time. This made physicist Richard Feynman comment that nature is very strange. Stephen Hawking remarked, "The behavior of particles is so bizarre that it calls into question our basic understanding of reality." This mysterious behavior of elementary particles, in fact, shows that they do not behave as lifeless matter. They rather seem to possess consciousness which makes them decide their own course of action. What is more surprising is that their consciousness is found to be interconnected. When a pair of elementary particles is created in an event, each particle in the pair seems to be linked to the other, even though they may be far apart with no connection between them. Actions performed on one of them invariably affect the other. This quantum phenomenon, known as the quantum entanglement, has left scientists totally bewildered. They have not been able to produce any explanation for this phenomenon to date. As Anton Zeilinger puts it, entanglement is the central mystery of quantum mechanics. According to Eugene Wigner, it is not possible to formulate the laws of quantum mechanics in a fully consistent way without reference to consciousness. Wigner is not wrong, since all this indicates that even the lifeless matter in the universe also has consciousness, and this consciousness is interconnected. This, however, is visible only at the micro level.
This explains the mystery of quantum entanglement. It also validates
the Vedic concept of cosmic consciousness, which is the sum total of the consciousness of all the living beings and the consciousness of all the non-living matter. This prepares the groundwork for resolving the above dilemmas. Further elaboration of this concept of the cosmic consciousness will show how it helps us do that. However, before we do that, it will be pertinent to first introduce the Vedas and their origin. This will be covered in the next article. Thanks for listening.